content that will give you a link where you can download that content towards the end of the presentation. Eric Romero, who I believe is over on the left-hand side here, is going to kind of kick this off with a short production video that we did for our company, but we've done very similar ones for others, and we'll get this going. So, Eric.
How do consumers find the right business for their needs? Mailers, billboards, radio commercials, and even phone books are no longer an effective way to reach today's customer. Being found on Google and well-designed social media ad campaigns garner the largest percentage of connections for local spending. Geo-delivered Google results populate on your mobile device as quickly as you can type a search. This is how businesses are being paired with the millions of leads searching right this minute on Google. If your business is not set up in this searchable space, Google is sending this thumb traffic from mobile devices to an optimized competitor that is often further away. Local businesses that are not running ads on social networks and not appearing in search.
Hold on a second. Sorry about that, guys. Well, it is not letting me do that while I am doing the screen. Hold on a second. Should just pick up where we were at. No?
With the millions of leads searching right this minute on Google. If your business is not set up in this searchable space, Google is sending this traffic from mobile devices to an optimized competitor that is often further away. Local businesses that are not running ads on social networks and not appearing in searches on Google are virtually invisible. Is your business ready to be found? SourceOne Digital Solutions. We'll put you on the map.
All right, I'm going to let Brooks take this over. Thanks for watching. Go for it, Brooks.
Should be able to hear me, and everybody's I'm unmuted, so that's good. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody this morning. My name is Brooks Hinkle, and founded SourceOne a couple of years ago. We focus on three things. And as Google search continues to change and the way businesses engage with Google search continue to change, we've really adapted our strategies and methods to three things. Your Google My Business page, your Google Maps visibility, and then attracting customers through Facebook ads. And these are the three things that we're going to chat about this morning. As Kim mentioned, we were founded in 2018, and we only do three things. We don't do Google AdWords, we don't do website work, we don't do mailers or any printed marketing material. We've found that the path to success and the biggest bang for the buck is being found on mobile through Google Maps, optimizing your Google My Business page in order to facilitate that visibility, and then reaching out for customers on social media. Our company is made up of 5 folks. All are on the call today. Eric, who produced the video and also kicked off, he's our Director of Sales in the left-hand corner. Amanda Morin, she is our Director of Services, the second picture there. We have Jade Christensen, who does our Google My Business support. And then we have Don Duncan, who does a lot of our content development. You may know some of these folks here in town, but they have all produced significant contributions to SourceOne. At the end of the presentation, which is actually going to only take about 30 minutes or so, we're going to send out a link in the chat box where you'll be able to download literally step-by-step details, checklists, and then also website tips that will enhance your local visibility and local ranking, and connect your website to your Google My Business page. We'll also be able to reach out and then address any questions that you may have as well. And then we'll have a direct Q&A when we wrap things up. So we're going to talk about 4 things today. And these are the 4 things that we feel, well, not that we feel, that we have experience with that have in some cases doubled. And in one particular business, we 3x their revenue in less than 10 months. Number 1 is Google My Business. A Google My Business page has become, if not more important, as important as your website. This is generally the first touch that a customer or a potential customer will have with your client. And believe it or not, if you're under 40, that's the only thing they look. Don't go and read your 30-page website, and they don't go and read your white papers or your blog. They look at your reviews, they look at where you're located, and they make a buying decision. But not only is it the importance of your Google My Business page, but how that information is distributed across the internet. Your name, address, and phone number is called a citation. So if you have a Facebook page and your name, address, and phone number is on your Facebook page, Google counts that as a citation. But what we want is a widely distributed citation base, and I'm going to explain that a little further. We can also give Google the signals that it wants to see through your web page. So we can give certain cues and signals on your web page that lets Google know that you're a local business in Fort Collins that does plumbing repair, for example. And there are certain pieces of information which we're going to go over specifically that help Google connect that to your Google My Business page, so when people are searching for that plumbing repair person, they can find you. And then lastly, the biggest bang for the buck and the most reaching out that are
Hey, Brooks, we're losing you. I think we lost him, Kim. I'll pick up where you left off. So one of the big pieces, the biggest bang for your buck is going to be Facebook advertisement. For lots of folks that have spent on, Google ads, Google AdWord campaigns, it's a good amount of money for that position to spend cost per click. Brooks will eventually be going into in a spot here. Let me see if I can share his presentation. Let's see. I'm not sure if anybody else is dealing with this, but the winds are almost 40-mile-per-hour gusts where I'm at, east of Fort Collins, and I think Brooks is dealing with the same thing where he's at. So we're all dealing with some interesting.
I'm back. So
we got you. Cool.
Yep, we'll get going again here. Okay, can everybody see that still? We're back?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So whenever we do a Google search, whether it's on desktop or on mobile, Google breaks this information into 3 sections. At the top of the page is what Google charges you to be at the top of the page. It's called a pay-per-click or paid advertising. Most of us take our thumb and quickly scroll right past this because we know these are advertising paid positions. The middle section, which is called the map pack, believe it or not, has a 62% click rate. When people are looking for ice cream, happy hour, restaurants, best auto repair, auto insurance, mortgage loans. This is the information where they are making their buying decisions. And believe it or not, it's not your website that puts you on this list. It is your Google My Business page and how that page is built, optimized, and the content that is on it. And then down at the bottom of the page is what people call organic rankings. Organic rankings is when someone calls you and they say they're from Google and they say, we'll put you on the first page of Google. Well, what the detail they leave out is that is in the bottom section of search results. And unless you're in the very #1 position, which are generally occupied by companies like Yelp or Realtor.com or WebMD, you're only going to get 1 to 2% of the people clicking on your particular website for your services. So what we're trying to do in Google My Business Optimization is aim for the big bullseye. Aim for people where people are clicking. And this is how you do it. So how do you as a small business owner attract new customers? Believe me, this is only 17 or 18 of the possible choices that are available out there. You can send text messages, you can do email, you can do Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest and 97 other ways to try and attract customers. But through experience, we have narrowed it down to what we call the SourceOne success formula. And it is the combination of Google My Business, which is the symbol up on the left, plus Google Map visibility, plus Facebook ads, a little bit of YouTube, which is down in the left, and a little bit of Facebook social posting. These 5 things will pick up the majority of the customers that are looking for a local business. Now, if you're trying to rent a car in Cleveland, this combination is not particularly suitable. But if you're looking for a best bakery, if you're looking for a mortgage broker, or if you're looking for a dispensary, or you're looking for a liquor store, any sort of the local services that about 95% of our chamber members participate in, this is the combination that is going to bring you the best return on investment of your marketing spend. So Google My Business is the hub for your business. This is generally the first touch that anybody is going to see. If you pull out your mobile device and you search the name of your business on your mobile device, you will notice that it's not your website that comes up first. It's your Google My Business page that comes up first. And that way people can call or navigate directly to your business without ever visiting your website, without ever visiting your social media, without ever visiting any other place. They can go right to your Google My Business page, know what you do, how to get there, and if they want to call you, they can do that. The only way to get on Google Maps is to have a verified Google My Business page. Your website will not get your business on Google Maps. Google must verify the name, address, and phone number of your business before they will give you a Google Map PIN. So before anybody can navigate to your business on their phone, you have to have a verified Google My Business page. It's hard to believe, but Google does not care about your website. They care about the address that they verified on your Google My Business page. So once we have your name, address, and phone number, your services, your business description, all set up on your Google My Business page, we have you verified on Google Maps, then we can reach out into the largest social population on the planet and literally building by building, block by block, income level by income level, married, unmarried, we can target the exact customers that are most suited to your business and advertise only to those people. So if it is someone who is 28 years old that makes $35,000 that is getting ready to move to Cleveland and you're a moving company, we can aim an ad exactly at that person so that when they're ready to move, they see your advertisement. And this combination of being able to have your information verified, viewable, and then the geo-targeted ads has proven to be highly, highly successful in attracting local customers to local business. Now, we also feel that having a good YouTube channel with videos that are well produced, have original photography, but also include the staff and people that work for your company builds a high, high level of confidence. So if you're a roofing company, we recommend having roofing videos of your work and your staff and who's going to come to your house, so people can go, customers can go and look at that content and know this is a real company with real people in Fort Collins that are going to come and put a roof on my house. We don't, as fun as, Instagram videos are awesome and TikTok is a huge site. I understand it. But if we're interested in selling something to someone, these are the very fundamental and successful assets that your business needs. Here at SourceOne, we have also developed a method to where we can interconnect these assets so that Google recognizes this as what they call a business entity, that this Google My Business page is connected to this YouTube channel, is connected to this website, and it builds what's called local authority. And this is how your business will show up on Google search in a higher position when compared to others, in that Google can verify that all of these electronic digital assets are all about the same company. And we've built methods to do this, and we can do it for your business as well. So I realize a lot of this sounds complicated. So two things. I'm going to provide a downloadable link here in just a minute where you can get step-by-step directions on how to do this, but I'm going to give you the overview. So number one, if you don't have a Google My Business page that is verified with your business, go get one. It's free. The website is right here on the top of this slide, and it is a step-by-step process to fill out your business information and get your name, address, and phone number verified. So if you don't have a Google My Business page, go find one. Next is to detail your Google My Business page. It is not enough just to have your name, address, and phone number and a picture of your building. You need to have your business hours. And in this particular last 3 or 4 months, knowing whether a business are open or closed has been critical. And I've come across, tens of businesses where I look at their Google My Business page, I get in my car, they say they're open, I drive over there and they're closed because they didn't update their business hours or they didn't update their COVID information. And so all of this can be controlled right through your Google My Business page. So you want to have a business description. If you're a roofing company, you want to say we do roofing, we do gutters, maybe you do windows, possibly you do other services. You want every service to be enumerated on your Google My Business page. And this is where you control what Google will publish about your company. One of the most important areas, and most businesses are lacking, is please include at least 20 photos, 1 to 3 videos, and the photos need to have people in them. So if you're a realtor, please don't publish 20 pictures of houses that you sold. I realize that you want to sell houses, but I want to have pictures of you with other clients, maybe taking continuing education classes or participating in a 5K or something like that. I want to get to know you through the photographs that are on your Google My Business page. And believe it or not, the photographs that are on your Google My Business page will get 10 to 50 times more views than the photos on your website. So make sure that these photos are things that you want people to see. If you already have a Google My Business page, you want to take as much care and do as many updates as your website, because more eyes will see your Google page than will see your website. So first, continue to build your database of photos. Second, just like on Facebook, you can post on your Google My Business page. So you can say, hey, we're having a 10% off sale, or hey, we're now open after being closed for 3 months, or hey, look, we just hired this great new employee. And more eyes will see these posts than will see them on your social media page when people are searching for your business by name. Keep the brands that you are incorporating into your business, your new services, and your products updated. Google will connect a brand name, like Nike, for example. If you're sell Nike shoes in your store, they will connect that Nike brand to your store, and you will benefit from what is called a brand search. So if you say where to buy Nike in Fort Collins, Google will eventually connect that brand and show your business in the 3-pack, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second. And then for those companies that maybe have custom products or build their own products, you can actually build an e-store right on your Google My Business page. So this, Diana Herman is one of our clients. She owns Zai Chinese medicine here in Fort Collins. And you can see here is her Google My Business page, but right in the middle of it is the products that she makes right in her shop here in Fort Collins. So when you search her name, you no longer have to find her website or find her e-store. You can buy these products right off of her Google My Business page. So this takes the navigation process of buying a product from search the name, go to the Google My Business page, and you buy. We are taking down any barriers of resistance for someone to do business with your store or with your organization. Now, these products, for example, could be windows for a house. They could be tires for a car. They could be services. They could be, we do auto insurance and homeowners insurance, and you could connect this product section to another section on your website that expands on that particular product or service. So there is a lot of functionality in your Google My Business page that will show up in Google search before anybody will ever get to your website. So I really encourage, as a business owner, to spend a lot of time or call us and we can help you optimize, visualize, and make your Google My Business page as dynamic and exciting as your website. So once you have your Google My Business page verified, we are all familiar with what is called the 3-pack. When we search for a product or service, this little map with these 3 choices comes up on our mobile device as well as on our desktop searches. You will not get on this list until you have a Google My Business page that is verified. Second, once your page is in place, and as you begin to enhance the content, so you enhance the photos, you enhance the services, your business will begin to show up above other businesses here in Fort Collins or other local markets that you may serve. Believe it or not, about 50% of consumers make their buying decision right off this list. They don't go to your website. They don't go and read your blog. They say, oh, I need digital marketing in Fort Collins. Look, SourceOne has 8 reviews. They're first on the list. They press call. And they just made a buying decision. And that happens in every industry, across every vertical market, thousands and thousands of times a day here in Fort Collins. So how do you get into the 3-pack? This is a high-level overview, and in the downloadable documents, this is enumerated and has a lot more detail, but I'm going to give you kind of the idea. Number 1, you have to have your name, address, and phone number of your business widely published across the internet. Examples are Yelp, Foursquare, Facebook, etc. But you also want to be on other directory sites like yp.com and Localese, Yahoo, and Bing. And there are actually hundreds of these sites. And we have a service that we can propagate your name, address, and phone number to hundreds of these sites that creates what is called a single search target, meaning Google, Bing, Yahoo, everybody knows your name, and business address and phone number is all consistent, and that address is associated with your business. If you have moved in the last 3 years or 5 years and you did not electronically update your citations, it is likely you're losing a tremendous amount of search traffic because that old address is still out there on the internet directing Google and other search engines to the wrong information. So you want to make sure that this is updated and as consistent as possible. Second, you need to have customer reviews. And I know we have positive and negative experiences with customer reviews, but in particular in the younger age groups, buying decisions are made merely because of reading a few positive reviews and reading a few negative reviews, and a buying decision gets made. In a competitive space, let's say such as window replacement, it would be a great idea to have several hundred reviews. If you are in a medical practitioner, having tens of reviews is a good idea. If you're car repair, you're going to need 50, 75 reviews before it's going to really start making a difference. But it is highly, highly important that in order to build a relationship with a customer base, that you respond to both the positive, thank you so much for your kind words, please come back next time for a 10% discount, and the negative reviews, we're so sorry you did not have a 5-star experience, please call Julie in our customer service department and we will take care of this right away. Customers want to know that if something goes wrong, your business has the capability to take care of it. So, build a business practice of asking customers for either every customer for a review, or at least customers that you have a good relationship with and can leave you a positive review. If you have a storefront, having an iPad or a laptop where people can log in, or just hand them a link, hey, could you leave us a review? Sure. Or I'm going to show you how to send out an email link and solicit reviews via email. But reviews are super important in building the reputation for your business within a local market. Lastly, you do have to make some improvements on your website to get Google to recognize that you're a local business. There are 4 very important ones here. And we can provide as part of the download, we have a full outline on other signals that you need to be giving Google. But the most important one is probably the first one. We want to have the Google My Business specifics on your homepage. So your business hours, your services, your Google My Business category, the service area. Do you do business in Greeley and Fort Collins and Windsor, or just, Fort Collins? And then the 4th one, ensure a Google map is embedded on your website that has your Google My Business name on it, because that will directly connect your Google My Business page to your website and build what is called local authority to Google search. This is explained further in the documents that are downloadable, but we will also answer questions for your business related to what should I put on my website to help my local visibility. These are probably the top 4. Now, I know we've covered quite a bit of information, but what are the benefits of focusing on Google My Business? Well, I think we can look at this list and realize that all of these things will enhance our business relationship with our local customers. But the top 3 are more website visits, more mobile phone calls, and for those of you that have brick and mortar stores and businesses, more navigation visits. I can tell you, once you have a Google My Business page, how many people press navigate on their mobile device and navigate to your business. How many people press call and call your business specifically from your Google My Business page. And we can take steps to enhance both of those actions so that more potential customers are seeing your Google My Business page and more people are calling you and more people are visiting you. After the last 2 months, we've had a number of clients that actually doubled up, meaning, invested more in their citation management, investing more in their Google Maps visibility, so that when everybody started coming out of the COVID stay-at-home recommendations, that their businesses were highly, highly visible. And we're seeing, just double-digit results, sometimes 100%, 200% increase in phone calls, in the last 4 to 6 weeks, because their business is so visible. So I would really encourage your business to understand more about Google My Business. Give our company a call. We've got all kinds of tools and techniques and methods to help you out. But as Google continues to focus more on their advertising revenue, they continue to own the search space. You have to operate in the Google ecosystem. And Google My Business is your number one most important asset that you can possibly have to attract additional business. So I'm going to put this link right here in the chat, but if you want to, this bit.ly link right here at the top, if you put that in a search window, you'll be able to put in your contact information, and we will send you the GMB checklist. We will send you the website insight for local business, and we will send you the benefits of Google My Business. And I'll put this in the chat box so everybody can click on it directly. We also have a Google page, g.page/sourceoneusa.com. We have a Facebook page, and then Eric and I's email address is down here at the bottom. It is not super complicated to have good results on Google My Business and increase the visibility for people that want to call, find, and come to your store. We do have some very sophisticated techniques for franchises and multi-location businesses to where we can increase your overall digital footprint. And we encourage anybody to reach out and contact us from a Google My Business perspective. So that is all that I have. I will drop this link into the chat box, and then Eric is going to talk a few minutes about how a Facebook ad campaign can be a very economical way to attract additional customers. Eric?
All right. Thanks, Brooks. Once again, what Brooks is saying, we will drop that link with additional information here. Let me share the right screen here. We will share some information for you folks to just kind of follow up with some valuable information that will be more on the side of Google, but let's dive into Facebook for a few minutes here. So Facebook ads outreach, why? One of the things that Brooks and I talk about a lot is if you want traction on Google, an optimization will bring you results in a couple months, but Facebook ads will bring you a couple results in a few days to a few weeks. So that's why a lot of folks kind of do this, especially if they're starting some Google My Business optimizations and they need something now. This is a great way to really kind of turn some leads into positive traction for your business. Here, let me move this bar out of the way. There we go. So out of the world's 7.8 billion people, there are 3.8 billion active on social media, most of them on Facebook. One of the biggest captive audience that a business could ever play with. And one of the things that Facebook did years ago is they decided to keep Facebook and Instagram, they own Instagram as well. But one of the biggest pieces that they did that really left a lot of other social media networks in the dust is they kept focused on family and friends and interpersonal connections. And that's where people really love going on Facebook. It's addictive and it's a really great space for businesses to play if they play by the right rules. So the average daily time spent on social media is 144 minutes. Over 91% of brands use 2 or more social media channels as an important part of their online presence. And when I speak to using channels as an important part of your online presence, I'm really not meaning organic posting. Especially Facebook and Instagram, they really wanted to make sure that less than 5% of your traditional followers are going to see something unless you hit that boost button. But unfortunately, doing a boost button on the front page of your business page is just not really as effective as doing a little more complex, well thought out ad campaign the way that we like to do them. So I'm going to dive in a little bit and kind of show you how to do that. by the way, these statistics are pre-COVID-19. So as soon as COVID-19 took, these numbers on social media are a lot larger than these were previously sitting at. So when I think of a well-executed social media ad campaign, I think of something that doesn't really break and interrupt my feed experience. So engaging. Ads are about excellent imagery, a few sentences to really garner their interest, and it essentially acts as your digital business card. People's online experience really is important to purchasing decisions, especially when it comes to local services. When I create a social media ad campaign, I want to gain their attention, and I really dive into the numbers on this just to make sure that I'm sending the right amount of traffic to their website. And then the other thing that I do that I assess when I'm looking at a positive social media ad campaign, and this is something that I don't find a lot of other people do when they set up an ad campaign, is looking really at where you're sending the people. What's happening when they click that button and say sign up now, or request time, or buy now, and they go to your store, or they go to a contact form. Is it mobile friendly? One thing I find a lot is that people don't realize that they spent thousands and thousands of dollars on their website, but it's not set up for most mobile phones. And believe it or not, Android users are lots larger than the iPhone population of the world. So there are lots of Android phones that it won't load properly on. And if somebody went to your contact page to leave their information and they can't either click a call button that is a click to call, or input their information easily and hit send, they're going to go back, they're going to hit their back button, and they're going to go to a competitor. And that's really not what we want to see. So assessing your bounce rate on the website from the people that went to that page is a really important part to really optimizing your campaigns in a positive way. And then we'll get into a little bit of retargeting later. Remarketing is a really important tool. But the contacts, that's really, really an important thing. And if you want pre-qualified leads, and this could be everything from a roofing business to an auto detailing service, all the way to a photography business. I also own a photography business on the side. So having these set up the proper way to make sure that when the leads get there, they want to leave their information, that's really the most important piece to a Facebook ads campaign. And then if you do have coding on your website that allows you to track those functions, whether it's somebody letting the page load or clicking that contact button, then you can remarket to them later. And we'll get into that in a second. So Facebook pixels, this is what I'm essentially talking about as far as keeping track of your leads and the people that you're sending to your website. Remarketing is a really, really effective tool. This is actually an actual ad of one of our clients, Outrageous Baking. They've only been live a couple months, but one of the best things about this is when I look at an ad and I'm physically in my feed on Facebook and I know that I got targeted for, I love dogs and I play music and I get targeted for all kinds of stuff. But if I see some, doggy breath something and I see that it has a lot of likes, I really don't care. A lot of comments, once again, I don't really care. But if I see it's got a lot of shares, I strongly believe that those people put their stamp of approval. They said, this is something that I believe in. I'm going to share it with all of my followers. I bought this product and I think everybody should have it. So to me, that's buying authority. And I constantly will look at an ad and say, okay, this looks real. And the two things that people can do, they're either going to hit that shop now button or they're going to go back and they're going to research. And this kind of goes along with what Brooks is saying, just as far as positive reviews, positive content. It doesn't matter how much of it that you have, just as long as it's really positive, people-full content. And when we talk about people, the personalization of a brand is really important. So while this is kind of an anomaly, I usually like to use people in ads more so than just physical items. This is a great look at an ad that was successful. So hundreds of likes on it, lots of comments on it, and 34 shares. So even if one of those people let's say every single one of those 34 people has 1,000 to 2,000 followers. You can do the math. That's a lot of people that saw this ad that typically wouldn't have. But how we design our Facebook ad campaigns is kind of a 3-step phase. Number one, creation, making it likable and enjoyable, and people want to click that shop now or request time or learn more or whatever the button, the call to action may be. And then the second piece of it, assessing what it's doing with the function. So are you getting contact forms? Are you getting sales on your website? And then the third part, and this is kind of the SourceOne 401 class instead of the 101 class, but pixels and remarketing. So essentially you can create a secondary set of ads set to these same people that didn't do the desired function on your web page, and you can ask them and say, hey, are you still interested in giving us your information? Are you still interested in that delicious zucchini bread that you clicked on but didn't purchase? And it's a really effective way to market. So when we look at the numbers, and this is really the most important piece to this, when I look at a successful campaign and take a look at the left-hand side here, when I put up an ad, and this is for one single ad, and this is actually correlating to this ad, I want it to gain as many results as possible, but I also want these people to be pre-qualified leads that are going to go there and want the desired service that they are being, essentially advertised for. So 90,000 impressions, that's going to essentially 90,000 feeds. Whether people saw them, they didn't see them, it was sent to that many mobile devices. The reach is actually people that scrolled past them or got close to it and maybe saw a corner of that ad, and they may have done something, they may have not. The results are going to be the exact desired results. So I specifically for this campaign wanted to make sure that nobody clicks the button accidentally. We wanted to track how many people just went to the landing page and let it load. And that's all we did for this particular campaign. So between 2 ads that we had up, we know that we had almost 600 landing page views where they let it load completely and they stayed on that landing page. Now, whether they put their information in or not, we have a different tracking metric set up to track all of those form submissions. But we know that their form submission tracking, that they have a good percentage of these coming just from Facebook ads. And when we think about the cost of new windows in a home, it could be upwards of $20,000 to $30,000. So when we can track this down to 99 cents per landing page view, it's a really, really inexpensive way to market for people that we know are homeowners in a particular region looking for DIY tools or home improvements and things that we can all target for. And they then went to that website and put in their information. And that's the desired result. And I do just have to say this is rare. I don't usually see shares on things like window replacement. So when we think of just trying to be that friendly expert and trying to accomplish that through an ad, it's really important to have eye-catching imagery and some personalization. Allowing these folks to seem personal is really the part where we can then add value to our client's experience. And so the last real slide I'm going to show you folks, the reason we stick to these things and we focus on them is because we strongly believe that this is going to be a largest percentage of the people online searching or being found through lead cultivation, such as placed ads in mobile feeds. We feel that this is going to garner the largest results for small businesses and why it's going to be the best value for the money that you spend on marketing. So when we look at Google and citations, if somebody picks up their mobile device, I just did it last night, whether I'm ordering a pizza or looking for a mortgage, I do it from my mobile phone. And doing it from a mobile device, getting on Google and searching for a business, making sure that those citations are all pointing at your business, making sure that you have that local authority, Google will pick those things up, and making sure that if somebody hits Google, you're in the map pack in that 3-pack and they pick number 2 and you're there, and they either visit your website or just call you or directions, making the ease of use for your customer is going to be the biggest thing that you can do to put your business ahead of other businesses. And Facebook ad management, I want to create brand advocates for a business. I want somebody that's going to remember the ads that they saw, share them the way that you saw on those sample ads, and allow that person to really strongly be somebody that recommends your business to other people, whether it be on Google recommendations, Facebook recommendations, or even word of mouth. And then the assets. We do actually help businesses recreate assets. Just like Brooks said, on Google, it's very important to have at least 20 photos on a Google My Business page and 1 to 3 videos. It's really, really important to make sure that those images are eye-catching, feature people, and also are an accurate representation of what your business is. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. We're going to open this up for questions. So please let us know what you would like to ask us. And let me stop sharing my screen here.
I think everybody is muted, so if you want to either put a question in the chat box, that's great, or if you just want to verbalize a question, we can do that as well.
I see one from Rob Mueller, or Mueller, excuse me. We have worked with the cannabis industry, and one of the biggest things that we're really focused on is making sure that you're found on Google. None of those things that Brooks talked about have to deal with paid advertisement, so they do not go against any of the advertising policies on Google. And Facebook, if you're looking on that side, joining groups and religiously posting some of those optimized photos and really great assets of your people and your staff into Facebook groups is also going to be the way that you can gain traction there. And if you do 2 of those things, that's really going to be a positive forward motion for a cannabis business. Brooks might have more to say on that.
We work with dispensaries, THC dispensaries, as well as some CBD growers and oil concentrate businesses. And interestingly, most cannabis businesses cannot participate in any sort of advertising at the moment, but they can have a Google My Business page so that when you search cannabis dispensary Fort Collins, that your business is prominently displayed. But you can also do Google posts so that when someone finds your Google My Business listing, they can see your products, they can see your specials, they can see where you're located. And we've had, very good success working within the rules of Google and Facebook. Well,
I think we lost Brooks for a second there. The other question is how does the top 3 space on Google Maps work? I see people who have 3 reviews on there and others that have 100 plus reviews at the bottom. Just to speak to what Brooks was presenting about before, all of that has to do with your local authority. So when we're talking more about the schema code and things like that, that really, really is going to change your prominence as far as where your business populates. And just like you saw, if you search digital marketing Fort Collins, we pop up 1 or 2 all over Fort Collins. And how we did that, we have 8 reviews on Google. How we did that is by making sure that every single portion on our Google My Business page is filled out properly, as extensive as possible. And we're also propagating our Google My Business link all over the internet. So every single one of these citations is going to hold information about our website, about our Google My Business page, about even photos that we've used that are all optimized with some of these codes, just to make sure that we're going to populate that way. And that's how we do that also for any one of our clients, whether it's the cannabis industry or even roofers or whatever the industry may be. No problem, Lucy. Any other questions or comments on stuff that you've seen or experienced in your own Google presence or Facebook ad campaigns? I will say this until somebody sends another question there. If you do have another question, do not hit the boost now button on the front end of your page. Facebook likes to earn revenue that way. It's not an effective way to go searching for your ideal lead. It is cost effective to do it if you target it the correct way, but you essentially need to build it in a way where you create your business page on Facebook, and then you connect a business ads manager to it, and those two are going to talk to each other. And then you even go a step further and create a payment information on the back that will also tie into that, so that way you can keep track. And let's say you want to advertise on Instagram too. You now need to take your Facebook page and your Instagram business page, which has to be converted into an Instagram business page, and you connect them on the back end. And that way that business manager can see all of those connections and deliver ads to each one.
Jason, I see you have a question on Google paid ads. Our agency actually specifically focuses on Facebook advertising because the ROI has been so crummy on AdWords. And AdWords, Google AdWords is very, very expensive and cannot be targeted down to the granular level as Facebook advertising can. And so we've actually moved completely away from Google AdWords advertising. So that's kind of where we stand on that. I can make some recommendations of some national companies that are AdWords experts if you're really committed to Google AdWords.
I will mention just real quick on just to daisy chain on that one as well, is that, you know, when we looked at the percentage of click-through rates on all of those different portions, the top are going to be the ads. And if you're going to see, you know, less than 2% of a click-through rate through that, it is a lot of money to spend for that little traffic. So that's why we don't focus on it. Facebook is a different story. The cost per click is a lot lower. We do have a current client of ours actually that still has his Google AdWords running because he still wants to have that edge. But we've also done some optimizations for him on Google. His Google My Business page sees a lot of traffic. And then we're also doing Facebook ads for him. And I will say, if we looked at his Google My Business traffic and took that out of the equation and just looked at his Google AdWords and his Facebook leads, we're probably getting at least double to triple the amount of Facebook leads for less than a third of the cost of what he's spending on Google AdWords. And you're welcome, Polly and Becky. Thanks for joining.
What I would like to see here in the chamber is that every time someone searches a particular business service, so whether that's auto insurance or massage therapy or auto repair, whatever it may be, that a chamber business is featured in the top list of 3. And while proximity does have a little bit to do with that, where you're doing the search from, we can overcome those elements to where a particular business, we can get to show up all over Fort Collins or all over Greeley or all over Loveland. So, you know, I've been a chamber member now for a couple of years, and I've seen a lot of businesses succeed, but in many cases, it's a lack of leads or a lack of visibility as to why some smaller businesses don't succeed quite as well. And that visibility and that ranking can certainly help. Let's see. Erica Brooks, how do you gain access to your GMBA page from a former employer, different email? There is a process, Jennifer. If you can drop me an email, brooks@sourceone-usa.com. There's a process to where we can go and request access to that GMB page. It does take a minimum of 7 days, but there is a way to get access back. So that can happen. And who do you recommend control? So generally speaking, if you have a marketing department within your company or a marketing contact, that person can be what's called a manager of the Google My Business page. But I do recommend that the business owner is the owner of the Google My Business page, because managers can come and go and you can assign them and deassign them. And so I do recommend that the business owner be the owner of the Google My Business page. And then whoever's in charge of the marketing activities, whether it's an agency like us or an internal contact, that those folks are the manager of the page.
Hey, Brooks, how do you go about getting Google reviews besides just sending lots and lots of emails? Is there a better way to do that, or?
Well, so, I mean, a couple of good experiences. I work with several realtors, and in the realtor space, they've actually had little business cards printed with that Google link on it that takes somebody to the review page. And at the closing table, they'll actually, here's the keys to the house, and if you could leave me a review, that would be great. And here's a little business card that has that link on it. That's also worked quite well in the auto repair space, to where someone's, their repairs complete, their would really like a review, and a business card that has the name, address, and phone number, has that new link. Google comes from your Google Business page printed right on it. So when they go home, they can sit down and put that link in their laptop or whatever, and then the Google review page pops up right there. That's been, two good examples. Emails are very fun. And then if you are in the medical space, we have an oral.
Oops.
Oh, I think we lost Brooks. We do have a, maybe he's back.
Jeez. We have an oral surgeon here, and people are leaving, they will log into their Google account and leave a review right there.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have questions for Brooks or Eric? Okay.
Well, I really appreciate everybody's time. I know this is kind of sometimes a hard thing to wrap your head around how Google My Business engages with your website and engages with the reviews. I'm at quite a few chamber events, and when we can get back together again, we can do that as well. So really appreciate everyone's time today, and thank everyone for attending.
Cool.
And we did record the session, so we will be sending it out. So if you have other questions, you can definitely refer back to that, or we will also include Eric and Brooks' information in that email.
Right.
Thank you all again for joining us today, and we'll get this technology all figured out someday.
Thank you all. And once again, I put the link in the chat once more if you do want to get those free assets. It's great to use for your business. So thanks again. Thanks, Kim.
Of course. Thank you both so much, and we'll see everyone at the next one. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Great day.
Thanks.